This is like the 5th time I've tried to film this. Hi y'all, so I am here to do a collab with a bunch of other wonderful women on YouTube, and we are all getting together to help launch Tayler Cooley from Cooley & Co. She does daily vlogs with her family, and now she is launching a mommy channel. So we have all come together and we are all talking on different topics that have to do with motherhood. And in my case, it's the good, bad, and the judgy. Today, I'm going to be talking about kind of like my 3 solid rules that keep me out of mommy wars and into long-lasting mommy friendships. After discussing with a bunch of different moms of different generations and kind of mommying at different times, it's resounding that this has always been an issue. There's always been these kind of like mommy wars and mommy shaming and judgment happening, unfortunately. It does seem to be worse now because everything is so, you know, published. Like everyone's lives is on the internet or on some sort of social media. So it's easier for people to pass judgment based on like a picture or a short clip or a video and feel like they know someone just because they see images of them all day, if that makes sense. Also, being on a public spectrum like YouTube and putting myself out there, it does lend yourself to have backlash, you know, have people judging you, writing mean comments or anything. Luckily, you guys are awesome, and I have such a positive little nook here on YouTube. We're kind of like on like a love seat, you know, like whereas other people are on full couches or sectionals or like theaters. We're like a little love seat, and it's wonderful. But once you get larger and bigger and all of that nonsense, it just seems like kind of the public spectrum of judgment is a little bit worse. So how do you get through that? You know, how do you get to a point where you have a mommy community that is wonderful and encourages you, but also still stay, you know, grounded in what you believe, even if people around you don't believe the same thing, you know? And that's where the mommy wars start in, where someone believes something opposite, so then they get defensive of their beliefs and then they try to put them on you. And as a new mom, it's really easy to get sucked into that because you have no idea what your parenting style is yet because you just became a mom and you're just surviving, you know what I mean? So rule number 1, own your parenting decisions, okay? I say this because it's so easy to get sucked into other people's beliefs, wants, needs, desires as a parent. And if you sit there and you try to listen to what someone else kind of spews at you and take that as your parenting style, or take that and make your decisions based on someone else's deal, then you're gonna end up upset with your decision. Because I truly do believe in that mommy instinct and that kind of gut feeling that you get as a mom. You know your kid better than anyone else, and even if you're a new mom and you've only been a mom for a week and you already have to make a tough decision for your child, go with your gut and own that decision. Don't let anyone make you feel bad for the parenting decisions that you make. You may fail, you may do the wrong thing, but own that decision, make it yours, because that's what's going to help you grow as a mom, and your child is going to really thank you for that because it keeps it authentic and it keeps it real. So I will say that is my first rule. As a mom of 2 now and being a mom for almost 3 years at this point, it's very apparent that people want to tell you what to do. And people have their own regrets as being a parent, and they want you to do differently and stuff like that. You have to just be the parent that you want to be, you know? Number 2, moms with different parenting styles or beliefs should and can be friends. It's really important to expose yourself with different people. It's just like the world. Be open-minded. Hang out with people that believe completely different than you. It helps you grow. It helps you evolve. And as a mom, as a woman, as a person that is influencing children, you need to show your children that you can be around people that are different. And I think the biggest thing is that, you know, it's just because you may have completely different beliefs than your friend doesn't mean that you can't be mommy friends. For instance, let's say that you breastfeed and your friend formula feeds and your friend has never wanted to breastfeed. Don't put that on them. Don't then make them feel bad because they're not breastfeeding and you feel like that's the best thing ever, and vice versa. Just be friends with that person and encourage them through it. Who cares? As long as they're feeding their kid, that's all that matters. Different people have different thoughts. Vaccinations, staying at home, working, crying it out. Organic food versus frozen food, processed food versus non-processed, hemp milk versus cow's milk. I mean, there's so many topics. If you're gonna have friendship with someone that's just like adamantly against everything you believe, that can be hard, but try to work through that and be accepting of that person. I know that if I were to like go with all of the parenting things and really like have a checklist for all of my friends, I probably wouldn't have any friends. So I think it's really important to expose yourself and your kids to people that are different. And in change, they will then have friends that are different because they were raised differently than them. So it's a win-win. Number 3, be transparent and be honest. I cannot tell you enough how this is so important, and I feel like this can break down the walls of mommy judgment and mommy wars. Because once you're transparent and you're raw, if someone can't accept that, then you just don't want to be around them anyway. So it does expose you and it makes you vulnerable, but really that's the moment where I think that you find those really lasting and wonderful friendships and relationships. The best example I can give you, I have 2 of my best friends that were there for the birth of my second child. I mean, if that is not transparent and real, I don't know what is. They saw my vagina and they're still my best friends, and there's no judgment. I mean, I'm not saying that you need to show your vagina to your friends, but I'm just saying be real. Like, this is mom life, you know what I mean? Like, hashtag mom life. And sometimes it's ugly, but they were there for me, and they were there without judgment, without passing any sort of agenda on me or anything. They were just there to be supportive and loving. And that's what's important in this world. A woman, and as a mom, there's no better friendship than a friendship with a fellow mom. I mean, there's just not. There's no one that understands life the way that they do. And I can say from personal experience, having wonderful, supportive mommy friends, there's nothing better than that. So in a true effort of being transparent and real with you guys, I didn't clean up my living room before filming this. And I'm in my pajama pants. So that's just being real. I mean, this is what my house looks like on the weekends because my husband's home and I like to have family time. Nash and Sean are at the beach right now. The baby is right here. That's why you probably heard grunting and stuff throughout this whole video. But that's real motherhood. You know, I put up these videos and I try to be authentic, but sometimes I have to put on makeup quickly, clean up the background to make it look like I have my life together. And the reality of it is that my life is not together. I have a toddler and I have an infant, and life gets real sometimes, and well, all of the time, and 24/7 I'm asking myself if I'm doing this right. And I think it's just so important for us to have people around you that look at you and say, well, you might not have done that right, but you're doing the best that you can. And that's why I just think that this is so important, and I think it's really important to put this out there because I just want y'all to know that if you have no one else, you got me, and you can just, you know, reach out to me and I will be there to support you and encourage you, because I just know how hard it can be, and it can be lonely, and it can be frustrating, and you know, I never would want someone to not have someone, because I know that having people is what gets you through. So I hope that y'all enjoyed this video. Please go and check out all the other awesome mamas that are posting amazing content on like the daily sometimes. And make sure that you go and give them love, tell them that I sent you. Let me know below if you have any kind of tips for me in trudging through this mommy journey. I mean, let's be real, it gets crazy sometimes. And I love your faces. We'll see you next time. Bye, y'all. Hey, Arch. You're a good producer. Say your brother. This is Nash with Archie at 5 weeks old.